Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I can say that now because this is my second video. So I wanted to come on here and talk to you about some lessons that I learned before I turned 18. So I'm actually not 18 yet, but I will be soon. And I know my audience is maybe a little older than 18, maybe a little younger, just in that age range, excuse me. And so I wanted to share some stuff that I had learned that maybe can help you out wherever you are in life. So if that sounds like something you want to hear, then sit down and let's have a meeting. So as always, I have my notes and they are very in-depth today. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. My very first piece of advice is going to be meaner. What you think is being mean is very likely just assertiveness. You can say no to that party. You can say no to that dinner. That backhanded compliment that you got, you can call that out. And their reaction to you calling that out will also tell you if it was intentionally backhanded. Because if someone came up to you and they were like, hey, that compliment that you gave me, that felt kind of backhanded. Like, what was going on with that? Because you don't have to be mean when you talk to them about it. You can just be like, hey, what's going on? And if someone came up to you and said that, you would probably be like, oh my gosh, no, that's not what I meant at all. And you would clarify. Like, you're not going to be like, oh, you thought it was backhanded? You thought that was mean? Like, you're so sensitive, you can't take a joke. No, because that's mean. And you would only do that if you were obviously intending that compliment to be backhanded. So you can tell by their reaction to a backhanded compliment if they're trying to be mean or not. But that goes to being meaner, goes for everything. You can say no to stuff. You don't have to be like, oh, hey, do you guys want to go out for dinner? You don't have to be like, no. Like, you can explain yourself if you want. You don't have to, but you don't have to be rude about it. You just be like, no, I just really feel like staying in tonight. It doesn't have to be complicated. Number 2, if you want to find a man, be yourself. So no, being yourself is not going to get you any man you want. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, but it'll get you the right man, okay? You don't want to be fake or be a pick-me or lie about who you are and then get some weird manipulative loser. No, you want to be yourself, because then, like, if you have that attitude, have that attitude. Don't hide it and pretend you're just this calm, innocent girl. Like, if you're not, own it. And then, so the guy that doesn't want that kind of girl, he's okay for not wanting that, but that just means you guys aren't a match. If you have that, a guy's gonna be that, he's gonna see that and be like, I love a girl with a little bit of attitude. Okay, and he's gonna see that and he's gonna want you, and then you don't have to reveal your true, like, crazy self later in the relationship. You know, like, go strong from the beginning, okay? Because you already know that that's what he's into. Yes, it might take a little bit longer to find a man instead of changing your personality for every man you see, but you don't have to deal with all these breakups and these toxic relationships if you're just yourself and you find a man who loves you for who you are. Now, I'm not saying that you won't deal with any toxic relationships, no promises, but you want someone that loves you for who you are immediately, and you don't want to deal with changing that later on. Number 3, if you can't change the people, change the people. Okay, this is mainly talking about friendships. Friendships are supposed to hype you up, to support you, to help you grow. And yes, friendships have arguments, that happens, but if you feel like your friend is just always having a very negative impact on your life, you can distance yourself. And you don't have to completely cut that person off either. I feel like so many people here, don't surround yourself with bad energy. If your friends are giving you bad energy, like, don't be friends with them. People hear that and immediately think, cut them off, ghost them, block them on everything. But you don't have to do that. Text them less, okay? Hang out with them less. It doesn't have to be this huge, like, giant, we're not friends anymore. Like, just distance yourself a little bit. It's okay. Number 4, take your own advice first. So many people have very similar or the same experiences, but they're almost always going to have different opinions on them, or they're just going to have a different experience with the same situation. Okay, so take your own advice first. Like, you can do some research, you can take other people's opinions into account, but don't just go off of what everyone says. Trust your gut. I have a college that I got into, I'm admitted, that's where I'm going, yay. But so many people were telling me, it's too far, it's not the right school for you, like, all this stuff. And I'm like, I did take that into account. It took me a little bit longer to decide, which I think it's important to take those others' opinions into the account, but don't rely on them. Like, I didn't have people tell me that and then immediately just like, not going there. Like, no, I'm going there because I did my own research and it sounded like a place for me. And I can come home if I need. Like, you can change your decisions, okay? Keep that in mind. It is okay for you to make a big life decision that you're not sure about and then be like, this isn't for me. And then you step back and you can change your decision. Okay, don't be scared to take the leap when you can just change it if it goes wrong. Number 5, music impacts your whole life, okay? Music has so much power that people do not realize. And I think so many people, when they're sad, they just want to be in their sad mood. And I get that, feel your feelings. But like when I was literally in the most depressive state of my life, I would constantly listen to very depressing, very sad music. And then when I was like, okay, I really want to get out of this state, like it's not funny anymore, get me out of here, I would still listen to sad music and nothing would happen. And I'm like, what's like, my life isn't changing, but I'm doing everything I can to be happy. Like, what's happening? And then literally I stopped listening to sad music. It changed my life. It's not going to solve all your problems, no. But if you're listening to sad music all the time, it's going to bring your vibe down. Okay? It's manifesting. You're surrounding yourself with sad energy, sad words, like you're manifesting sadness into your life because that's all you surround yourself with. Okay, number 6, there is a difference between trends and overconsumerism. I see the word overconsumerism being literally thrown around so much. Yes, it exists and it's real, especially with like now fast fashion, online shopping, stuff like that. It's very real. But you can't hate on people. I mean, you can, but it's not a good idea. You shouldn't be hating on people and calling them sheep because they have no wallet. I really do feel like the people who buy something just because it's trendy, that's the same energy as people who hate on something just because it's trendy. Okay, because some trendy things are trendy for a reason. You have to understand that. Some trendy things are cute, some trendy things are practical. Not everything is over consumerism. Like, people who think that are just judgy people. They're just being haters, okay? And don't be a hater. Being a hater brings your whole vibe down. You're surrounding yourself with negativity. Just don't do it. Number 7, stop trying to make all your progress so fast. Okay, every time the new year comes around, we hear that analogy, 12 new chapters, 365 pages. And that analogy is perfect. It's the perfect analogy for progress, I think, because 12 new chapters, like, that speaks for itself. You have little chapters that make up an amazing story. But it's not just the chapters, it's each page. Flip to a random page in your book. It might have some big event on it, but it's rare. It's gonna have some random stuff, and with no context, you're gonna be like, what's the point of this? Okay, where is this getting me? How is this gonna make a good story? This is just one page with nothing to it. And that's what we think about our days. We're thinking, what's the point? I'm not making any progress. Like, but then you put all of those 365 pages together and you have an amazing story. You've had an amazing year. So truly, you just need to spend a week max making a plan and then putting it together and then just following it every day. It doesn't have to be complex. I talked about that in my last video a little bit. It doesn't have to be this huge thing. Have grace with yourself, but make your plan and then just follow it every day. You'll know you're getting somewhere because you plan to get somewhere. Number 8, you need to have patience and forgiveness. This is so important and it takes time to learn. So my favorite example is road rage. Everybody gets road rage. It's just frustrating. It's stressful being on the road, especially in traffic and stuff. We all know that's when road rage is the worst. But so somebody cuts you off or something and you flip them off. You have to change your perspective to what if that's an anxious teen who's just, it's like their first time in traffic and they're just like, oh my gosh, I need to get over there. I didn't mean to be in this lane. Like, I need to get over. What do I do? And they just send it. Okay? Because that's happened to me before. I've literally been in that situation. Or like somebody flipped me off for not letting them in, which is kind of strange because I'm not required to let you in. But I would have let them in, but I was just scared. So if somebody doesn't directly do something that's very obviously hateful or, I don't know, passive aggressive, or just something that's obviously they're intentional about their actions, don't immediately lash out, okay? Think about the situation. is this intentional? You can confront them about it. Like how I just recently, in like 2 minutes in, talked about, question them about the backhanded compliment. Or like, you can confront it, but don't immediately jump to conclusions that, oh my gosh, they're evil, they're dumb, like all this stuff. Like, again, you're just being a hater. Number 9, sometimes it's scary to let go. Sometimes letting go of what you know you should feels wrong, even though you know it's right. So this happens a lot with relationships. It could be friendships, partners, any of that stuff. But if that person is giving you, like, you know, most of the time logically when it's time to let go and when you need to move on to the next chapter in your life, but it's just hard because it's familiar. That discomfort, like, even if your life, you literally hate it with this energy in it, being surrounded by discomfort for so long, it makes discomfort what you know. It's in your comfort zone because it's familiar, it's predictable. And stepping out of that, even if you know it's going to change your life for the better, is really scary because it's out of your comfort zone. It's not familiar. You really just have to rely on the fact that you know better things are coming. Even if you're not 100% sure, shoot your shot, okay? If this person or whatever it is that you need to let go of, if it's giving you so much bad energy in your life, then better things are going to come, whether or not you know that. This kind of leads me to number 10, which is you can always restart. Okay, whatever it is you're stressed about, if you started a business and you're like, it's not going well, if you're starting a new major, it's not going well, you can restart. Sometimes it's harder to, sometimes it's easier to, but you can take as much time as you need off to just step back, breathe, get your shit together. Whatever you need, you can take the time to restart and figure it out. And people scare themselves. They have the idea of restarting and they're like, I'm never gonna get back. I can't, I'm too far in. I'm never gonna get back to where I am. I'm never gonna get back to, or I'm never gonna get to where I wanna be. I'm too far to go back now. But you're not. It is not gonna take as long as you think to just bounce back. Number 11, if people are hating on you or bullying you for simply existing, they are the problem. They are obsessed. Their logic is that if I talk so bad about them to my friends, to anyone who will listen, then it's gonna put me on a pedestal. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking, oh, I'm actually down here and they think this person is like here. But if I knock them down lower, 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 now I look higher and I look like a better person. They are literally only talking crap about you because they know what level they're on. They know they're low and they're jealous of you. They're jealous of the level that you're on and they want to appear better to everyone else. And you're who they need to target because you're on a level that's so high. So literally having a hater should boost your confidence because they're jealous of you. Number 12, if you don't like something, do something about it. Okay, distance yourself from whatever you don't like and move on. Now, there are situations where it's like you need to fix it, you need to call someone out for their behavior, do it and get the justice that you need. But don't surround yourself constantly with their bad energy when you could move on just because you're mad. You're letting your emotions get the best of you, which is letting them win, because that just means that their negative energy is bouncing back onto you and it's bringing you down and they want you to be down. Number 13, what's meant for you won't feel like it's not meant for you. Okay, you are gonna have situations where what's meant for you, you have to work for and you might get stressed out sometimes, but what God's gave you in life to complete, like your purpose that he gave you, it's not going to drain you of your light. That being said, pulling yourself out of a bad situation in order to start your journey to your purpose, that might drain you of your light a little bit, because pulling yourself out of a bad situation is really, really hard because you have to center yourself around that negative energy. You have to center yourself around the bad situation, which will probably drain you of your light a little bit. So pulling yourself out and escaping an abusive household, for example, that will probably drain you of your light. But when you get the opportunity to start educating yourself and start studying for the job that you literally dream of having, that won't dream you of your light if you're meant to have it. Number 14, and I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, sometimes what you need to do to pull yourself through won't work. If you are watching all the videos, taking all the advice, and trying all the things, and you're still stuck, it's really hard to hear, but it might not be your time. So this has happened to me. I was literally doing everything in that depressive point in my life that I mentioned earlier. I was doing everything to pull myself out, and it was just not working. I'm like, what do I do? Like, what's the point? So please understand that in this situation, you just need to keep protecting your peace and not give up. Please do not give in to the environment that's around you. Your time will come. It is coming, and it is going to be incredible. Excuse the change of outfit. I forgot to record number 15, but stop accepting insults because they're literally not true. If somebody told you, "Isn't it so weird that the sky is green?" you'd be like, what? What are you talking about? You must be crazy. You need to have that mindset when somebody insults you, because then you hear someone talk about you and they're like, oh, isn't the way she's dressed so weird? Like, your outfit's so weird, your makeup's so weird. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, you're right. Like, I'm so weird. I'm so ugly. But why don't you think that way about when they tell you the sky's green? Because it's not true, and you know that it's not true. So it's not even a question in your head. You didn't even think like, is the sky green? Like, no, it's clearly not. So you need to have that level of confidence when somebody is crap talking you and somebody insults you. Just anytime someone's trying to bring you down, you need to have that level of confidence to where you're like, what? Like, you must be crazy. What are you talking about? I'm not ugly. I'm not weird. My outfit's amazing. Like, what are you talking about? Number 16, unless you're directly impacting their life, whether positively or negatively, people who are happy with themselves aren't going to give a fuck about you. I don't mean in the way that it's like, oh, you're being abused by your boyfriend? I don't care. I'm happy with my life. Why would I care? No, that's not what I mean. I mean this in the way of do what you want, post that video, get that job, take that opportunity, because they're not going to spend their time judging you when they could be focusing on bettering themselves. They're not going to be like, oh my gosh, look at that person in the gym. They're only curling 10 pounds. They're not going to care. They're going to focus on their own workout. They would much rather spend their time bettering themselves, leveling themselves up, growing, than worrying about what you're doing. Okay, my phone's at 5%, so I really have to hurry up. But romanticize your life. Again, same with the music, it's manifesting. Get the cute drink, put on the cute outfit to just get groceries. You are manifesting that cute little dream reality that you want. You're manifesting that into your life. And number 18, which is, if you take anything from this video, take this, because we're finishing strong. You are literally in control of your life, which I know it's obvious, but people don't process that. People don't realize that. You pick your job, you pick your hobbies, you pick your people, you pick your style. Everything that your life revolves around, you choose. Your dream life, everything that your dream life revolves around, you can choose. You are literally, like, you ever play The Sims? You know how you can just tell them, do this, do that. You can make them whoever you want to be. You can do that with yourself. Like, you are in control of everything you do. Take advantage of that. So those are my 18 lessons that I learned before 18. I had to rush a little bit in the end. I did finally get my phone plugged in. But if you enjoyed that video and if it helped you at all, then I would really appreciate you to send this video to someone that you think it would help, as well as liking and subscribing, because I'm trying to grow my channel so I can help my girlies out. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you would like to comment your favorite piece of advice and any other topics you would like me to touch on or anything like that. Bye guys!